Hey, y'all. Hey. Happy Sunday, everybody. Y'all, listen. Fresh home from church today was invite week at my church. So once a month, my church does this really big thing where, we try to fellowship with community. We bring people in with us. So we'll cook and have bouncy houses and just a good old time. And the intention is for you to bring people to church with you, to fellowship with you, and just have a good time. So today was that day. So even though it's 4 o'clock, I literally just dropped off all the kids that I took to church and went to the grocery store to get my stuff to make my salad. And we are home for the day. So listen, y'all know I said, let me don't even jump in the shower. Let me go live and then I can go on and get ready with this couch nap. All right, because y'all know it's mandatory. And I also have to watch my daughter's hair. All right, so I want to introduce myself for anybody who does not know who I am. My name is Tanisha James. I'm affectionately known as Coach Tooka. If you've ever found yourself wondering what is a Coach Tooka and why would somebody call themselves something like Tooka, it represents the woman that I used to be and how I took a 180 in my life, made a complete turnaround from the woman that I used to be. 5 years ago, I was 80 pounds heavier. I was way more tireder, okay? I had high blood pressure, severe anemia, ocular migraines, debilitating menstrual cycles, extreme fatigue, addiction to sugar, fibroids that moved, all the things. Okay. So it is an understatement to say that I was not well. And God blessed me to connect with an amazing coach friend and mentor who helped me to transform my life. And now I get to teach women just like you and me how to do the same in their life. And I get to show you that this thing don't have to be as hard as we're making it. We're making it complicated because we focus on the wrong things and we like to do too much. Okay. And so my goal is to show you how to do this without doing too much. Okay. And so today is all about encouragement this week. We've been talking about the fact that some of us are addicted into struggle, really. A lot of us do not mind struggling. And a lot of times, if something is simple or it's not complicated, we think because it's easy, it can't be right. We are looking for the thing that we're looking for the thing that's difficult. Like if we say, here's how I say it. I say, if I tell you that I just need you to walk for 30 minutes, somebody's like, I know that can't be it. If I tell you to make a simple plate that you can take with you on your vacation, some of us are people who would still think that ain't it. We think that it has to take a lot and that we always have to be in this constant struggle with ourselves to get results. And so I come here every single day at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time to let you know that nothing could be further from the truth. And so my encouragement for you this week is that it's just to remind you that we serve a God of elevation. And I think that we are so quick to give up on ourselves, and God never does that. So your Heavenly Father does not want you to settle for where you are. My mentor, my pastor, and my coach, Darius Daniel, says, God will, though, let you settle for whatever level you decide to live on. So whatever level you say, okay, this is as good as it's going to get for me, God will be willing to allow you to settle there if that's where you decide to settle. But we serve a God that wants to see us elevate and go to the next level because that is where he gets the glory. Okay. So I just want to remind you of that today to not be discouraged. I really don't care how many times you started over, how many times you have lost sight. Like God God still says push, like he still wants us to push. So I just want to encourage you this week to really walk away from any failures that you've had in the past. And I want you to embrace like a new version of yourself. I want you to embrace that greater can be had by you. I want you to be open to all that God can do in your life. Some of us are not even, I don't know. We just settle for so much less than what God wants for us. And God is, you've heard people say God is a gentleman. He's not going to force himself on you. So I need you to not stop believing, okay? I need you to not say, because I haven't achieved what I thought should happen in this time frame, that this is the best for me. And I do understand it because I know that when we're striving and we're trying to get better in life, sometimes we get tired. Sometimes we can feel like I should have been further along than this by now. You feel like, what's the point? I've done a lot and haven't seen results. But I just want to remind you, like, God's calling isn't based on how you feel. He has a plan for you, and He calls you based on what He already finished in you. So if God hadn't changed His mind about you, I don't want you to change your mind about you either. I don't want you to settle. And I know that when it comes to weight loss, sometimes the amount of the, like, when you look at yourself and you think how long this journey is going to be, that can be heavy. And I want you to know the heaviness comes from trying to do it in your own strength. I will tell you, the number one thing that I did was trust God throughout my entire journey. All right, I trusted God the whole time because I had come to a point where I had no more strength of my own. So yes, will progress feel slow sometimes? And I will say yes, but it's because you're measuring yourself against the wrong thing. My husband and I, we were having a really long conversation about, I've been talking to everybody about it because this thing with Shador Sanders, and I've told y'all before, I guess because it's the draft week that is like all in the news and everybody's conversation. And you know, who am I to jump in it? Because I don't know a thing or two about drafting, football, or any of these things. But here's what I thought immediately when Shador did not get drafted. Because I asked my husband, because your girl don't know. Okay. All I know is that they came in and up out of Jackson State University. Okay. So I don't know if he actually was a good quarterback. I didn't know if he was good when he got to Colorado. I didn't know the specifics because I don't really just get in football like that. But my husband kind of explained it to me. He was like, it's not logical that he wouldn't get, that it would take this long for him to get drafted. And I knew immediately. I said, God's up to something here, you know? And I knew without even knowing about football that whenever we measure ourselves against the standard of the world and what the world says success looks like. So to the world, first, second, third, this is what I thought. I said first, second, third round draft pick or whatever looks like the win, but God will have you exactly where He wants you to be. So I'm just telling you to use that as an example, that don't measure yourself against the wrong thing. Don't look and see all the people who are doing Ozempic and counting calories and on these juice fasts and doing all these things who might even be getting results. And sometimes when you look at those people, it can look like, man, I should try those things because it looks like they are winning in a way that you wish that you could win. And you're probably beating yourself up because you haven't done this thing perfectly, because you started and stopped and fell on and fell off. And I just want you to know, God don't have a perfection standard. He don't need that from you. You know what God needs from you? Consistency. He needs for you to be obedient. All right. So the word says, I'm certain that God who began the good work within you will continue his work until it's finally finished. So you not done because he ain't done. All right. God will continue the work in you until it is finished. All right. He started the work. He will continue the work. And I need you to continue the work. So stop asking yourself, am I doing enough? Start asking, am I doing what God told me to do? Am I staying obedient? I want you to pick one small thing to be obedient in. Drink the water, go for the walk, fix the plate right, okay? Move by faith, not feeling. Here's a story that I always tell. So I believe in teaching in metaphors, okay? And I want you to always be able to visualize what I'm saying to you. So I recall one time, I think it was the year was 2022. Me and my husband, my friend Rochelle T. Parks, and we went with this group. One of our mentors, Eric Thomas, they used to do an annual trip called the Phenomenal Life series, and every year they would take a trip. And so in 2022, the trip was to Mexico to I think it was Riviera Maya. Sometimes you get to Mexico, it all looked the same to me, unless you go to Cabo. I mean, it all looked the same to me, okay? And so I think we were in Riviera Maya. And we were at this resort called Xcaret. The resort has 9 theme parks attached to it, okay? And so one of the theme parks that we went to was this place called Chinses. Very cool place. If you could ever go in life, like, I highly recommend Xcaret. Like, you should do it. So this park is all about challenging your senses, and everything in the park has to do with your senses not being present or being not what you think. They have things like you're walking downhill, like from your eyes perspective, it looks like you're walking downhill, but somehow they do it where your body thinks you're walking uphill. And then they do it again where you're downhill, but it feels like you're walking uphill. So weird. I'm just saying, just very cool place to go. So they have this exhibit there, or this activity there, where you lose the gift of sight. And so I remember just like haphazardly, like we saw it and we were like, let's just go in here. We're not really knowing what it is. And they tell us to take our shoes off. We think it's going to be a group activity. And they let us know we're going to go on our own. And you're going to go through this tunnel of sorts. Like my husband's with me. He's not going to be with me. There'll be nobody but me. And they say you won't be able to see. It'll be very dark and you will lose the sense, your sight. Okay. But you will hear things. You will smell things. You will feel things. The only thing we didn't do is taste. Okay. We didn't taste nothing, but we also didn't see nothing. Every other sense was intact. So you take your shoes off as you go through the activity. So we're going through this tunnel, and immediately you don't know the full meaning of what they say when they say it's going to be dark until you walk into this tunnel and you open the curtain. And when the curtain closes behind you, the little door, yeah, when I tell you it was dark, dark, like super dark. And I'm like, what in the ham and cheese is happening here? So immediately, y'all, because this is all I know to do, I start to pray. Okay. I immediately am like, Heavenly Father, it's just me and you. No, I don't have my husband. I don't have my close friend. I don't have nobody. It's just me and you. And it's dark. I don't know what to do next. And I just got to take one step. Okay. So I took one step. And that's it. Don't know if that one step was in the right direction. Don't know if the things I feel under my feet are real. Don't know if the rustling or moving around out here happening, this foliage that I think is foliage. I don't know that because it didn't rubbed up against my arm. I hope it's foliage. And I don't know if what I'm hearing and seeing is real. I don't know if what I'm hearing and seeing is real. Okay. And so I don't know. I'm like, okay, Lord, what do I do next? He says, take another step. I take another step. Now, at the same time, this was like a partial faith because it was like this little wall. So I'm kind of feeling my way. That's all I have is this wall. I'm like feeling my way along the wall. Y'all, at some point, the wall is gone. It just ends. So now I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I'm hoping that as I step and walk, I'm walking straight. Okay. I'm trying to keep it straight and I'm hoping straight will lead me out. But I don't know because am I in a maze? Okay. So I'm just going to put my hands here and see what I can feel as I walk. Okay. But I'm not really sure what's happening around me. So, needless to say, I go through the activity just like that, one step at a time, listening, praying, and asking God to tell me what to do next, which direction to turn, and what to do. And eventually I make it out. So it was a fun little activity to show me, to give me a real like example. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, that this is what faith looks like. All right. Faith looks like doing it unsure if I can't see where the end is. I can't see where I'm going. I can't see the end. I don't know what the end's going to look like. I don't know if everything that's happening around me is real or fake. I don't know if I'm headed in the right direction. I don't know if I'm headed towards the end or if I'm walking in circles. I don't know. I don't know if something's going to happen to me. Am I able to protect? I don't know. All I had was trusting God. That's what your journey has to look like. All you have is trusting God. That's all you have. All right. So every day, I just need you to do this thing, trusting Him. So some of us, you got to kill some of the noise that's in your life. Some of us have such busy lives that we can't hear God and we don't spend any time with Him. So we confused about the voice we hear when we hear the voice because we ain't talk to the voice. We don't know if it's Him. All right. So I need you to, first of all, quiet down that noisy life. All right. That's the first encouragement. And then I want you to listen for the voice of God to tell you what to do. And now the question is, Lord, how do I do what you told me you're going to do? So I want you to pick one thing, do it, and I want you to move forward by faith, not how you feel. Little bitty, tiny obediences, small acts of obediences become big old testimonies. God can use this stuff. So you don't have to be perfect to make progress. You just got to stay willing, and God meets you there in the willingness. He meets you where you are willing. In other words, like my pastor said, if you say this as far as I'm going, God's like, okay, bet, I'm going to leave you right there. But if you say, Lord, I want to go further and I'm trusting you to take me there, He will meet you there as well. And every step you take towards what He told you to do, towards obedience, towards stewarding what He gave you, towards taking care of the body he gave you, guess what, honey, that gets counted in heaven. Those are what they say, treasures in heavens, even if the scale don't move. All right. It means so much more than the weight on the scale. So this week, I don't want you to fall for the lie that says it's too late, you've gotten too big, you've gone too far, there's no way you're gonna make it out. I want you to know that your story is still in the editing process. Okay. We ain't even editing. It ain't even finished to be edited. It's still been written. All right. We ain't even made it to the final edit. It's still writing, it's still happening. All right. So if you want to walk along this journey with a bunch of people who know that God ain't finished with them either, I need you to join me in the Ready Set Habits Wellness community, where we are imperfect, but we are consistent and we do it by faith. Okay. All you got to do is go to readysethabits.com. That's readysethabits.com. And we are ready to walk it out with you. All right. I absolutely love you to life. I need you to know that you are not behind. You are a work in progress. You are in progress. And if God started a good work, I want you to trust that He's good enough to finish it. So you don't need another strategy. You don't need more tips. You need brand new faith. And your tiny obedience to what God told you to do is going to trump your temporary feelings every time. So God ain't going to stop building in you. And so I need you to not stop believing. I absolutely love you to life. I pray that you make all the preparations you can tonight so that you have an amazing and phenomenal week. But you must get your mandatory couch nap, okay? If it's 20 minutes, okay? A couch nap on Tucker on Sunday, all right? Quick couch nap because that's what Sundays, you know what I'm saying? That's the perfect cap to getting the word with a clean house and a couch, baby. That's the perfect start to the week. How else do you start the week? I don't know. All right. 10-minute couch nap, 15. Mine usually be about 29 minutes, okay? Feel like 2 hours and 90 minutes. They be great. All right. And I'm going to shower and get into it right now. I love you to life, and I will see you tomorrow at the same time and in the